the national championship game was yesterday. It was last night, and I have to say that it's like the college football playoff and everything is like that's why I really do not pay attention to college football, even though, I went to school with someone who played quarterback at the University of Tennessee. And but it's like I don't like college football because again, like I love March Madness because there's always like in men's college basketball, there's always a chance of some school nobody's ever heard of making a run to the Final Four, like Florida Gulf Coast, or not making a run to the Final Four, but making a run, or like some school nobody's ever heard of beating a powerhouse. Like again in the early '80s with Chaminade beating Virginia. But like in college football, you know, there's really no chance of an upset. The powerhouse schools always kick the crap out of the little schools, and again, the college football playoff only having 4 teams in it, to me, that is just fucking stupid. To me, you need to have more teams in it from more conferences, not just 4 teams from the big power schools, because, you know, and more teams in it, because it's like, the excitement of making one of the big four uh, bowl games now is completely gone. Nobody gives a crap about the big four bowl games anymore, except the two that have the 4 teams from the playoff. I mean, it's like, the Rose Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl were played like at 10 in the morning. You know, when again there's no, hey, the excitement of, hey, my team's playing for the Rose Bowl title. It's like nobody gives a damn about it because it's like, and again, it's like the college football playoff. Urban Meyer and Nick Saban, the first 2 coaches to win the college football playoffs or the national title. And that's another thing I don't like about college football is, I would actually respect Nick Saban and Urban Meyer as head coaches if they, went, like if, like say, Urban Meyer, let's say he went and decided to go coach the University of Idaho Vandals and turn that team into a powerhouse. And he turned that team into a powerhouse, and Nick Saban went and coached at like Georgia State or New Mexico State and turned that team into a powerhouse. Then I'd respect them as coaches. But it's like Urban Meyer quits coaching for a while, then goes and coaches at Ohio State. And see, that's the thing is college football is, people will leave other jobs for the dream jobs of the high legacy programs because of what their program did in the past. I mean, like Mike Riley left Oregon State to go coach at Nebraska, and Nebraska hasn't really done much in the past few years, but because of what they did in like the early '90s and '80s, the national titles, that there's still that you know shine of that program. It's a legendary program because of a run that they made, you know, and that's just why I really don't really like college football, and they really need to adjust the playoff. I mean, yeah, it's finally a playoff. Division Two, if they can do it, why can't you do it at Division One? And again, having 4 teams from the big name conferences. I mean, you're never gonna have something like Boise State when they beat Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl, several years ago. You're not going to have a chance of a big time upset, because it's going to be the four schools from big power conferences, and it's like, you know, the college football playoff is just stupid.